Just so you know, this was recorded during closed beta, but I am keeping all the guides up to date and any changes will be noted on the video, so make sure you have annotations turned on. Winston is a super intelligent space gorilla from the moon. I don't think it gets more awesome than that, and apart from some mild anger management issues, he is an all-round nice guy. Let's get into his abilities and see what he's all about. Winston's weapon is his Tesla cannon, electric frontal cone weapon. This does 60 damage per second in a cone in front of Winston, hitting any targets in its range for full damage. This will penetrate shields and damage both the shield and anyone behind it, but it will not damage anyone protected by a Zarya barrier. The Tesla cannon cannot score a headshot. Winston's shift ability is Jump Pack, leap forward into the air. Landing on an enemy damages them. This propels Winston forward about 20 meters, but more ground can be covered by looking up and jumping first. Enemies landed on will take a maximum of 50 damage and be knocked back, but damage falls off the further from Winston's impact the enemy is. Winston's E ability is Barrier Projector, deploy a protective energy dome. This lasts 6 seconds and has 600 hit points, blocking all enemy damage that contacts the barrier with the exception of melee attacks, Winston's Tesla cannon, Reinhardt's Fire Strike and Symmetra's Photon Orb. It is a full sphere, so if used on higher ground will protect you from enemies below. The cooldown for Barrier Projector does not start until the barrier ends or is destroyed. Allies can shoot through the shield without a problem. Winston's ultimate is Primal Rage, gain immense health but you can only leap and punch enemies. This lasts 10 seconds and boosts Winston up to 1000 hit points and increases his movement speed. The cooldown of Jump Pack is immediately reset and the cooldown is reduced to 2 seconds for the duration of Primal Rage. Winston's Tesla cannon is replaced by 2 giant monkey fists that swing for 40 damage each with a knockback at anyone unfortunate enough to be in the angry ape's vision and within 5 meters. The fists cannot score a headshot. Okay, that's the abilities, so when should you play Winston? Whether attacking or defending, he is a very versatile hero with some of the best objective control in the game, but he can also dive and disrupt backliners, being a real menace to Torbjorn, Widowmaker, Hanzo and Bastion. Or he can even protect your own backlines from mobile flankers like Genji and Tracer. Winston might not always be able to kill them, but he can force them to keep their distance. Winston is a medium difficulty hero, but mechanically he is very easy to play. The Tesla cannon does AoE damage in front of him, so dishing out the pain is easy as long as you are in range. And therein lies the difficulty. Positioning is everything. A good Winston can carry his team. A bad Winston will just feed the enemy ultimates all day long. The key to not feeding ultimate is Winston's Barrier Projector. Damage done to the shields does not charge ultimate. It has a pretty long 13-second cooldown, so make them count. Use it to protect a choke, allowing your team to move through and get some free DPS on the enemy defences, or bubble the choke when defending to disrupt an enemy push. Use the barrier to protect your own snipers, giving them some free shots without needing to worry about return fire while you get back to the front lines to be a threat. But if they're being harassed by Genji or Tracer, you may want to stick around and zap the pesky flies. Jump back into their backlines, and with Barrier Projector you can take on multiple enemies at once, or drop the barrier on the objective with your team to push the enemy off. A useful tip is if the barrier is dropped on the payload, it will move with the objective so it can provide mobile protection as you push forward. The cooldown of Jump Pack is pretty low at only 6 seconds outside of Primal Rage. This means you can jump into the enemy, harass or maybe even take out a key target among several while your Barrier Projector is up, then jump back out. Be careful when doing this. If you take on too many at once, it will not end well for you. If you're looking to min-max your single target DPS, you can weave melee attacks into your Tesla cannon damage, but as you can see from this footage, the time to kill isn't very much lower, and if you judge the distance incorrectly and miss, you will lose a lot of damage. Winston's low DPS and short range are his big weaknesses. Try to avoid Reaper and McCree at all costs. There is some room to potentially outplay with Barrier Projector timings if you're stuck, but 90% of the time these guys' high close range damage will shred through you fast. Mei is another close range hero you want to avoid. She will just freeze you in place and then take you out. And, as for most tanks, watch out for Zenyatta. His Orb of Discord will make you take 50% more damage. The damage of Winston's ultimate is not very strong, but the knockback and massive health pool is possibly the best objective control in the game. Be a huge rampaging beast and knock defending players away from the payload or point so the next checkpoint can be secured. Or disrupt enemy attackers, disorientating them while your team gun them down and neutralise their push. When using the ult, it will fully heal Winston to 1000 HP, so don't use it straight away unless there are some enemies begging to be knocked off the map. Get in there and deal some damage, then go mad monkey all over their face just when they think you're about to die. And that about wraps up Winston. Harass the enemy, disrupt their backlines and protect your team, then use his Primal Rage ultimate with your team to gain control of the objective. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please click that like button. If you have any questions or disagree with anything said, please put it in the comments below. I'm intending to have all 21 release heroes covered before the game is out on May 24th, so subscribe to get all that future content. Take it easy, and I'll see you soon.